Well, the Victorian Farmers Federation has just launched their disaster relief fund for farmers impacted by fires right across the state. The fund will provide immediate farmer-led support to farmers, many of whom have reported devastating losses. Tell us about some of the things that farmers have been saying to you over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of shock and a lot of disbelief out there that these fires have impacted as significantly as they have. We've spoken with farmers who've virtually lost everything. One family managed to save their home, and that was it. Lost machinery, lost sheds, lost unharvested crops, fodder, livestock. It's devastating, absolutely devastating. And these communities at the moment are. In fact, I had one farmer talk to me this morning, and she said, "To be honest with you, Brett, I haven't slept for 3 days, and I'm dead scared that when I go to sleep, I'll wake up and the enormity of what's gone on will finally hit me then, and the adrenaline will stop, and it'll be just the reality." And she's petrified of that moment, and these farmers need our support, and we've got a community that wants to support them. So the VFF Disaster Relief Fund is one way in which we can ensure we get some help to them on the ground and let them choose what that help looks like.
All right, what exactly then, Brett, is on offer?
Yeah, so VFF Disaster Relief Fund is a fund that always sits there with the Victorian Farmers Federation. It's helped out in times of drought. It's helped out in times of flood. Has helped out in previous fire events as well. It's a not-for-profit charity, so fully audited. You can give with confidence knowing that A, it's tax deductible, but B, the funds actually go to where they're needed. It's overseen by a governance committee, which will meet at 8 o'clock on Monday morning this week and start those discussions around how we allocate the funds, trying not to replicate what others are doing. There's a lot of groups out there, even our governments are keen to support, so let's allow them the space to do their bit, and let's pick up the pieces in between that the communities tell us they're looking for, that the farmers themselves tell us they're looking for, whether it be that wellbeing support for that farmer that hasn't slept for 3 days, whether it be just bringing the community together for a meal, whether it be providing fencing materials so groups like Blaze Aid can go in and do their thing and actually make a difference there, whether it be, purchasing higher quality fodder to make sure that the animals are getting the nutrition they need. Whatever those farmers tell us they need is what that fund will deliver.
You mentioned the emotional impact that this has on the farmers. What are they saying to you about that, and how long might that process of recovery, realisation, what's happened, take?
Yeah, you'll need a better psychologist than me to talk through it, Lorna, but I can only imagine at the moment many of them that I've spoken to are running purely on adrenaline. They've prepared their properties, they've fought fires, they've defended their properties, they've saved livestock. Many of them had to then go through in the last day or so actually euthanize sick livestock. They haven't slept, and they're saying to me even every night now they're still going out because their homes are, even if they've saved their property, it's under ember attack every night. So they're out there patrolling their properties, and every one of them has said to me, we know that there's going to come a moment when the realization of what's gone on will hit, and we'll actually feel very alone and very scared. And as you can imagine, when your livelihood is ripped out from underneath you. So we want to be there to hold their hand, to walk with them through that journey and be a support wherever we possibly can. And we know the Australian community wants exactly the same thing. They want to help where they can, and that Disaster Relief Fund is a way in which we can do it, where our engagement with those farmers in those communities will mean that fund actually makes a difference where they feel it will have the greatest impact.
Farmers we've spoken to on the ABC News channel, Brett, have spoken about actually the biggest concern, the biggest need right now is to get food for their animals because, of course, most of the food has been burnt. Is that happening?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I've been in discussions with the government, state government today, the Premier herself, and she's very focused on it, which is great news. We're looking at triggering some disaster relief support in conjunction, hopefully, with the federal government. Hopefully, the feds commit as well, and which will mean that we can subsidise the freight into these areas. We're already working with Agriculture Victoria and emergency services to figure out what areas we can actually physically get into at the moment, what roads are open, what roads are not open, where we can accumulate the fodder reserves and get it to the people in need. I've been overwhelmed overwhelmed by the number of farmers who've rung up saying, we've got a bit of hay, we'd like to contribute it. And they're not just offering poor quality hay, they're actually offering fresh new season hay, which will really make a difference to have that good nutrition for those animals. Our challenge will be actually being able to access, as you could imagine, there's still active fire zones. There's embers falling from the sky each night. Imagine driving a truckload of hay into that environment. It's really not possible. So we're hoping maybe late Monday or Tuesday we'll be able to start getting that fodder into those communities. But it's a wait and see, and we'll have to work with the authorities to see when that can happen.